Welcome to Griffin's Gaming Guide. In this video we're going after a God of War Ragnarök trophy full Gufa, where you need to free the Hafgufas. Now in order to free the Hafgufas, you need to first get yourself over to Alfheim, and I recommend doing this. Now there are a couple of spoilers. Once Kratos has the Dropnir Spear, as you're then going to be powerful enough to take down the enemies along the way. If you do it before that part of the main story, you might be a little bit underleveled and you might struggle taking down some of the later enemies that you're going to have to deal with in order to be able to free the Hafgufas. Now, freeing a Hafgufa will require you to complete, first off, the Secret of the Sands favour. You're then going to need to go and complete the Song of the Sands favour, which can only be done once the Secret of the Sands favour has been completed. You've got to do them in order. And once both favours have been completed, you will have then freed both Hafgufas, allowing them to continue as a species, earning your trophy in the process. So let's get into it. Now first up, the Secret of the Sands favour. That can be started by taking a left from the Strond Mystic Gateway, going into the canyons, clear the Hive Matter, which you've already seen in the video, by throwing the axe through the 3 weak points, revealing a wall on your right. You can climb up, then head forward to the Gullon sled, which we're on now. You can then ride around to the right once you get to the desert with the Sandstorm. Now, like I say, you are going to have a fair few enemies to take down. They mainly consist of Grim, Wretch and Light Elves in various forms. Light Elves can be a bit of a tricky one to take down. They like guarding, they like coming at you with ranged attacks as well as some very powerful attacks with their swords. So just try and take them down as best as you can as you progress through. You're also going to come up against a good number of Dark Elves. Now, whilst they don't hit as hard as the Light Elves, they are more in number, so just make sure that you don't get surrounded. Now you're looking for the first building which you come to, which will unlock a new area called the Below. You're going to need to climb down the cliff face, simple enough to do, and then once you're down there, we'll get back into it. So I'm going to jump in and out of this video a fair few times, just so that way I can help you out get through the areas that you need, and you also get a little break from me talking to you.
Perhaps we'll find Atreus' wounded animal down here.
Lead the way, Kratos. I trust you to not get us lost underground.
So now that we've climbed down the cliff face into the Below, one of the things that you're going to have to do to make your way through the area is to throw your Leviathan axe at the Hive Matter, as well as ricochet your Leviathan axe off of the Twilight Stones as you would have done earlier on in the game as you progress through Alfheim. So, speaking of which, let's just get rid of this enemy, chuck him off the cliff, it doesn't matter. Aim at the Twilight Stone, and then when the line goes from pink to blue, when it's blue, that's when you need to throw the axe, as that's when it's at the optimum angle to clear some of the Hive Matter out of the way. So, let's just clear off these enemies, and then we're going to progress into the room. You are going to get ambushed by a good number of Dark Elves. We'll take them all down. I'll see you in a minute. Right, now that the ambush has been dealt with, go to the back wall next to the Twilight Stone, which incidentally is a very good way of stunning the Dark Elves. If you don't remember from earlier on in the game when it told you, if you throw the axe into one of the Twilight Stones so that any Dark Elves are standing there, the axe will then kind of bounce around on the elves, stunning them, allowing you to go in and get a fatal hit. Now, like I say, simply jump up, zip line across, then you're going to have to make your way across the rocks by just tapping circle a couple of times. You're aiming to go over to the right.
Brother, Atreus would have enjoyed this desert dalliance, especially where maimed, innocent creatures in need of rescue are concerned.
Good. Perhaps it will teach him the consequences of disobedience.
An odd way to
So as you can see on screen, we're just about to drop down where you're going to have a tiny little Wretch and Nightmare ambush to deal with. Simple enough stuff. And then once that's done, you need to turn around and look over to the other side of the cliff, across the chasm, where you're going to be able to line up a Twilight Stone hit with your Leviathan axe, which will then ricochet down through 3 sets of Hive Matter, clearing the way that was previously blocked. And then it's pretty obvious what you need to do then. Just simply mantle your way back over, going through the now open area that you've just cleared, climb around the rock face, and then go through to the next area.
Have you asked Atreus why he feels the need to hide things from you?
Of course. It solved nothing.
It isn't supposed to.
Your meaning.
The boy is allowed to have secrets. All children do.
His secrets are dangerous.
Of that I have no doubt. Good.
So now that we're back inside, you're going to come to a cavern where you're going to get ambushed by a heavy troop of Dark Elves. There will be a couple of really powerful ones, so just keep an eye on your health bar and use the Twilight Stones to take them down a lot easier. Then once they're all down, you need to go over to the left from the gold chain, go through the little hole, drop down to the right, and then clear the debris using the explosive pot behind all of the stuff that's in the way.
It may not be the path you choose for him, but ultimately, it's his path to walk.
So once that's all done, you simply need to go forward, throw the Leviathan axe at the Twilight Stone up to the left, which will then clear the hive matter by ricocheting around the area, a couple of Rexes to take down, then jump over the small gap that will be in front of you, look over to your left, where you're going to find another explosive pot behind another set of debris blocking your way. Simply throw an axe or spear into it, which will then unblock the passage, allowing you to go around.
It is odd to watch you, of all people, go to such...
For the next set of hive matter you need to clear, make sure that the line is blue and will bounce from one Twilight Stone to the other when you throw the axe, otherwise you won't be able to clear the hive matter in an effective way. If you only clear one or two of them, they will simply regrow. You have to do all three, and then throw the axe at the right side of this pedestal, spin it around, angle your throw just perfectly, where the axe will then ricochet off the Twilight Stones, clearing all the hive matter out of the way. Defeat the nightmare ambush that you're going to have. There will be a nightmare nest as well, so make sure that you get around as quick as you can, or you're just going to have a never-ending supply of enemies coming for you. Once you've done that, we'll then move forward.
Nightmare on the left!
So once all the enemies are done, climb the wall at the back of the area and then go through all of the dialogue, as it's unskippable as far as I know.
A Hafgufa. I haven't seen one since...
Now, once my meteor has finally stopped talking, go over to the left, standing at the edge of the platform, and then look down to the right of the debris and have Freya fire 2 runic arrows on the side of the ledge, which you then need to hit with a blast from your Blades of Chaos, which will then explode the debris out of the way. Once that's done, jump across to the ledge, then look down to your right, where you can throw the axe through a weak point, hitting a Twilight Stone, ricocheting off through the remaining hive matter. Recall your axe, jump back across to the right, then throw the axe at the Twilight Stone above you, ricocheting through the area, clearing the remaining hive matter around the Hafgufas. Then it's simply a case of following the path around to the right, working your way up to the top of the area, where you need to clear one last piece of hive matter, bringing you back out to the Barrens, which is where the sandstorm and the desert is before we came down into the below.
Hafgufas are known to burrow, so I'd hesitate to place full blame on our dark elf friends.
Even though it's bound by their hive?
Hive matter doesn't belong to the dark elves, any more than the light belongs to the light elves. It's just another of Alfheim's natural resources, one the elves have used since the time of their ancestors. And while the light elves seem keen to banish the hive over on their side, the dark elves make effective use of it out here in the Barrens.
But if this is true...
Once you're back up on the surface, you then need to head north, where you're going to find a really dense piece of hive matter that Kratos will freeze with the axe, smashing it through it, and that will then complete the secret of the sands for freeing the first of the Hafgufas. Now, we need to go through and free another of the Hafgufas by doing the Song of the Sands favour. So let it all catch up with itself, and I'll see you for that one.
Imagined I'd see a Hafgufa fly again. Can't believe the lad missed this.
The storm is gone. The Song of the Sands has returned to Alfheim, albeit somewhat diminished from how I remember it as a child.
Atreus will be glad to hear it is no longer in pain.
You look forward to telling him.
I do.
It is not too late to avoid my mistakes. Your son must walk his own path, but you can still guide him. And I will help you, however I can, for his sake.
Thank you.
Well, nice nice to be able to have a real conversation.
Right, now that we've completed the Secret of the Sands, we now need to go off and complete the Song of the Sands, which is a lot more difficult and a lot more intricate and a lot more of a pain in the arse to get through. So let's get on with it. So to start off with, head to the north of the Barrens and use the chisel on the dish, having Freya speak the runic word opening the path through the Hjarta to the Forbidden Sands.
Odd. It looks as though the Light Elves sealed off this section of the Barrens. Why?
Luckily for us, a very considerate goddess has enhanced our magic chisel and we can unseal it.
My, that is lucky.
The Forbidden Sands lay beyond.
Contested territory, according to Bela.
Once you're in the Forbidden Sands, head straight across the desert, straight through the sandstorm, nice and easy. You're going to see a big statue of Freya in front of you. Keep going towards that and then take a right, where you're going to be able to climb down into a small building, into an area called the Burrows.
I see an entrance! I hope Freyr will appreciate our work here in the desert. I wonder if he knows how poorly this realm has fared in his absence.
Aye. Hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege, even if it's only a solo act.
Or a duet, once...
Once you're down in the Burrows, go straight forward, clearing the blockage with a sonic arrow, then jump across the gap, dropping down to the level below.
It is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement.
Once you've dropped down, look over to your left where you're going to see a section of wall that you can send a sonic arrow into to open the wall section, allowing you to send another sonic arrow into the blockade, clearing the path. Continue forward, jumping across to the wall, then back across, getting around the section of wall that you just cleared, mantling along the wall, jumping back and forth until you come to a small cave.
Alfheim's life is an aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by a hive mother.
Aye. And as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration.
Stand at the back of the cave, the right side of the wall as you enter, then aim your axe at the floor, which is a twilight stone. You can ricochet the axe off, removing the heavy inset section of hive matter in front of you. Head forward and then clear the wretch nest, continuing forward where you need to take out an encampment of grim and light elves.
Enemies to your left!
Keep intruders out.
Well, at least...
Once you've taken down all of the enemies, drop down to the lower level and then squeeze through the gap on your right. Drop off the edge and mantle across to the adjacent ledge where you will need to look up to the left against the opposite wall to see a section of wall that Freya can open with a sonic arrow, revealing a twilight stone that you need to throw the axe into to clear the hive matter blockage out of the way. You need to do this quickly before the wall closes up again. So now that we've dropped down, there's the section of wall that you need to send a sonic arrow into. It will open up, but it will only stay open for a few seconds. So don't hang around. Just clear that bit of hive matter out of the way. You can then jump back across and then aim your camera around to the right, where you're going to be able to drop down and then continue forward. That's simply a case of just kind of jumping back and forth across the cliff and then climb down the wall, where you're going to get ambushed yet again by more grim and more light elves. Take them all down and then we'll catch up. Once all of the enemies are down, climb the back wall, then once up the top, drop down to your left and then look up, where you need to throw the axe through 3 weak sections of hive matter, clearing the way through to the Hafgufas who is currently trapped. Now, freeing this Hafgufa is a little bit more technical than freeing the first one that we did. However, it's not the end of the world to do. So, to start off, look to the left of the Hafgufa to see an archway of hive matter that you could throw the axe through to the Twilight Stone, which ricochets back, clearing a strong section of hive matter out of the way, revealing a grapple point. Swing across, then look to your right, aiming to the top left corner to see another section of wall Freya can open with a sonic arrow, revealing a Twilight Stone that you need to throw the axe into, clearing 1/3 of the hive matter.
Any of us can hope for in the end. that our death has purpose.
Jump back across and go to your right when looking at the Hafguffer, line up another throw with the axe through more weak points of hive matter, clearing the next third of the blockage. And then to free the final section of hive matter around the Hafguffer, swing back across, then look up. Carefully line up the axe, ensuring that it goes through all 3 weak points, which will then free the bonds trapping the Hafguffer in place. So now that all of the hive matter has been cleared from around the Hafguffer, we then need to get back up to the surface, which is a bit of a tall order. So jump back across, heading through the now open doorway, drop down and take out the Bergsra and the Grim who are waiting for you, and then climb the wall over to your right. And as you can see, there is an artifact and a legendary chest. If you so wish, we are putting up complete guides for how to get every legendary chest and every artifact as well. So either get them now or come back later, choice is yours.
The fate of these creatures, it reminds me of a story.
Does it?
There once was a blacksmith whose king...
Now what you need to do here is basically climb, mantle and jump your way up and around the cavern to the ledge above, then stand on the right side of the higher platform, looking to your left where you can throw the axe into the higher of the 2 Twilight Stones, which then ricochet down to another Twilight Stone, ultimately finding its way into the hive matter blockage, which will reveal another grapple point once it's been cleared.
Well, your stories,
What about my stories?
I wouldn't exactly call them.
So with all that done, head up to the next ledge, turn around and throw the axe at the right side of the pedestal's gold disc twice to reveal another Twilight Stone. Throw the axe into the Twilight Stone on the left of the cavern so that it bounces into the newly revealed Twilight Stone, enabling the axe to clear another hive matter blockage, revealing yet another grapple point. Grapple across, then climb the wall where you can jump through the adjacent section of wall, then head right to the exit, taking down the last remaining light elf in the process, where you can then climb back up to the surface. So we'll just get all of that done and I'll come back in a tick.
It appears we've overstayed our welcome in our life.
And then once you're out, follow the mission marker or go around to the southwest, aiming towards the light in the distance, then clear the last section of hive matter by freezing it, then smashing it out of the way, ultimately freeing the Hafguffer from its prison, which will then not only complete the favour, it will also unlock your full Guffer trophy for having freed both Hafguffers in Alfheim. So I do hope that the guides helps you out. If it has, make sure that you check out the website, griffinsgamingguides.com. Very best of luck with the rest of the game. We will have a ton more guides coming up very, very soon. You guys take care of yourselves, and we do look forward to seeing you back here at Griffin's Gaming Guides.